Hello and welcome to Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa. It's Wednesday, middle of the week. The weekend is near, and so, of course, so is rest. But for this middle of the week, we're going to dive into a bit of the happenings in football as well as the ongoing tournament in Wimbledon. Manchester United have signed Netherlands left-back Tyrell Malacia from Feyenoord until June 2026 with the option to extend the contract for a further year, the Premier League club said on Tuesday, July 5th. Financial details of the transfer were not disclosed, but British media reported that United have signed the 22-year-old for around £13 million plus another £1.7 million in add-ons. Feyenoord Academy's graduate Malacia made 50 appearances in all competitions during the 2021-2022 season as they finished third in the Eredivisie and reached the Europa Conference League final, which they lost to AS Roma. Malacia, capped 5 times by the Netherlands, will compete with Luke Shaw and Alex Telles for a place in United's starting lineup under new manager Erik ten Hag. United, who finished 6th last season and missed out on Champions League qualification, begin the new Premier League campaign at home to Brighton and Hove Albion on August 7th. This marks Manchester United's first transfer completed of this summer. Other players have left, but this will be the first coming into the team. We'll see whether Manchester United can continue to add more new faces to the squad. Now, England's women are enjoying a moment of unprecedented attention ahead of the start of Euro 2022, and England manager Sarina Wiegman says her team is really ready ahead of Wednesday's July 6th opening against Austria at Old Trafford. The Lioness have never won a major title but are among the favourites for the tournament. They are hosting, and the players have featured in commercial advertisements and campaigns across the country. The level of expectation is something new for England to manage, but their captain Lee Williamson believes they can handle the pressure. Wiegman took over the team in September and has led them on a 14-match unbeaten run, with victories in each of their last 6 games. England also face Norway and Northern Ireland in Group A and will be hoping to improve on their run to the semi-finals in Euro 2017, where they were beaten by Wiegman's Dutch side, who went on to win the title. Now, of course, there's plenty of excitement about female football right now, and the sport is growing. And on the eve of the Women's Euro 2022, UEFA personnel highlighted the growth in the women's game and their aim to tackle online abuse. Former German international and current UEFA head of women's football Nadine Kessler believes that the game is unrecognizable compared to her playing days. UEFA also launched Rel Scars, which forms part of their new Respect program that highlights the effects of online abuse across social media, directed at football players, coaches, and officials. UEFA Football and Social Responsibility Director Michelle Uver stressed that online abuse can be combated by working together. Now, of course, abuse is a part of the game, especially when it comes to blacks and non-white players. And in women's football, with all of the obstacles that they already face, abuse can be a debilitating and preventative obstacle that prevents little girls from rising up, taking the bold step of becoming professional footballers. It is true that the pay gap does exist in football, but the only way that goes away is if the women's football rises to the level to compete for audiences and eyeballs from people. When they know that that is available, the money that these competitions for women rake in will increase, and therefore the pay gap will go away. But it never goes away if women, little girls, are already afraid to get into a sport where there's a lot of abuse online, there's misogyny, there's racism against them, and we need to work harder, because even here in Nigeria, we already see the effects that women's football is having on the reputation of our nation and the reputation of our women footballers. Now, in tennis, just when Novak Djokovic's troubling year looked like hitting another low, he salvaged his bid for fourth successive Wimbledon title by coming back from 2 sets down to beat Italian Yannick Sinner on Tuesday, July 5th. The Serbian top seed had looked in all kinds of trouble against the inspired 20-year-old after being outplayed for 2 sets, but stormed back to win 5-7, 2-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-2. In the end, there was an air of inevitability about the outcome as the battle-hardened 35-year-old seized control to reach his 43rd Grand Slam semi-final and 11th at Wimbledon. Djokovic has not been able to add to his 20 major titles this year after being deported before the Australian Open following a COVID-19 standoff and then losing to Rafa Nadal in the quarterfinals of the French Open. But he kept alive the prospect of facing second seed Nadal in Sunday's final with a superb comeback. The 7th time in his career he has triumphed after losing the first 2 sets. Sinner, who was bidden to follow in the footsteps of compatriot Matteo Berrettini, who reached last year's final, showed why he is being tipped as a future Grand Slam champion, but he faded in the face of a Djokovic onslaught. Now, British 9th seed Cameron Norrie reached his first Grand Slam semi-final when he twice came from behind to beat unseeded Belgian David Goffin 3-6, 7-5, 2-6, 6-3, 7-5 on Tuesday, July 5th, to set up a dream Wimbledon meeting with Novak Djokovic. Having come into the match full of confidence after successive straight set win, Norrie was surprisingly ragged in the first set. He rallied to take the second, but managed only 2 points in the first 4 games of the third, as Goffin, also looking to make the last 4 at a major for the first time, took it without having to do anything extraordinary. The Belgian was on court for 4.5 hours in getting past Francis Tiafoe on Sunday and began to look a little tired in the fourth as Norrie upped his own intensity to level the match. Much to the delight of a packed number 1 court, there was little in it as they battled to 5-5 in the 5th set when Norrie somehow found an extra gear to blast through a service break to love and then served out safely to secure the biggest win of his career. Tunisian 3rd seed Ons Jabeur, the highest surviving seed in the women's draw, recovered from losing her first set at this year's Wimbledon to beat Czech Marie Bouzkova 3-6, 6-1, 6-1 on Tuesday, July 5th, and reach her maiden Grand Slam semi-final since going down in the opening round at this year's Roland Garros in a shock defeat. Jabeur has won 10 straight matches on grass, having arrived at the All-England club with a title in Berlin in the lead-up. Currently playing at her highest career ranking of 2nd, Jabeur will meet her good friend, 103rd ranked Tatjana Maria, who earlier beat fellow German Julie Niemier for a place in Saturday's final. The 23-year-old Bouzkova broke twice to take the opening set, but Jabeur, bidding to become the first African woman to win a major, came roaring back to level the match with 3 breaks in the second. Riding on the momentum, Jabeur again broke twice to rack up a 4-0 lead and win 8 straight games before the Czech halted the juggernaut by getting a break back. It proved to be only a minor hiccup for Jabeur, who picked up another break in the next game and then held to serve to love to seal the contest on her first match point. A lot of comeback wins at Wimbledon. quarterfinals seems to prove very difficult, but that's where the meek are separated from the champions. My name is Mikhail Tinubu. As always, I'd like to thank you for joining Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa for your destination of all of your sports news needs. Remember, life is never boring with some sports. Have a wonderful day.